Let's make sense between the headlines and what's actually happening in the market. And let's also distinguish between price drops between year over year and since the peak, which was February. So first off, when we hear sales are down 44%, let's make sure we understand this is number of sales, not sale price, okay? Second, when we hear that the prices have dropped, 24%. A lot of the time, that's talking about since the peak in February, not year-over-year prices. So let's go through the differences here, okay? Since February of this year, so February to end of July, this is from the Urbanation report, which ends end of July. Now, July and August were pretty flat anyway, so there shouldn't be much difference in terms of prices. But this is going to show us the year-over-year drop and the drop from February till now. Now, if we look at February till now, in the city of Toronto, we're actually down 24% in terms of price. If we actually look at city of Toronto year over year, we're actually down 3%. Okay, and the largest share of that drop since the peak is actually Central Toronto, which is down 12%, as you'll see. But now be careful because it's kind of misleading. In Central Toronto, we have a lot of high-priced homes, and for one, there's not many. If you look at the number of sales, it's actually 118 sales. So there's not many, and there's also not many of those happening in the $4, $5, $6 million price range right now, whereas there was, back in February or even last year. So that median price is kind of skewed a bit by a lot of the higher-end homes not being on the market for sale or not transacting. If we look at semi-rows and towns from February to July, you'll see that those are down 16%, whereas year over year, they're actually up 7%. So the thing we want to get across here is that when we're talking about price drops from the peak, it's much different than from the year-over-year pricing. As you can see, we're not down that much overall in the city of Toronto in terms of pricing year over year. Now, with the new interest rate hike, we will probably see a further reduction in average price. But what we want to get across here is that if you're a first-time buyer, as an example, or a move-up buyer, or even an investor, it's important that you have the right information because you could miss out on a really good opportunity. And right now, with prices where they're at, it could actually be a very good time to buy, especially if you're a first-time buyer or a move-up buyer. So we just want to make sure that you're getting the right information and not being swayed or scared by the headlines because it doesn't always tell the entire story.